Leather is one of the earliest crafts, accompanying humans since the origin of the species. It is a durable, versatile and natural material, something of high value, accomplishing a whole range of uses. We appreciate the look, feel and even unique smell of leather. But a question may arise: how is modern leather made? We aim to add light to this by means of this concise video as we highlight the various key processes in making leather. The hides from large animals and skins from small animals come from many parts of the world and are a byproduct of the meat industry. Hides arrive at the tannery after being treated with salt to preserve them from bacterial action. The first process performed is to shake out the salt, avoiding pollution of the water system. Leathers are then soaked in lime in a process called liming. This chemically dissolves the hair, removes unwanted proteins and opens up the fibre structure. This process swells the leather considerably. Remembering that this material comes from an animal, it still has fleshy parts to it. Therefore, the next process is fleshing. The fleshing machine has many cutting blades and a revolving cylinder that cuts away unwanted fleshy matter and regularizes leather thickness. The leathers pass on to the next stage called trimming, where workers cut away useless or unwanted material from the edges of raw hides to give them a better shape or trim. A very important operation then takes place called splitting. As the leather is still of a thick dimension, this is the operation of cutting a hide or skin horizontally into two layers. The upper layer, the more external part of the animal, is called top grain, and the lower layer is called split. Now the tanning process takes place. In this case, the hides are placed inside a wooden rotating drum specially designed for tanning. Tanning agents convert the raw fibers of the hide into a durable product, preserving it, improving its abrasion resistance and heat and flex resistance, able to endure repeated cycles of wetting and drying. Next, two large rolls squeeze out the excess moisture as the hides are fed through a machine. This is termed wringing. The leathers are called wet blue and may now be selected or graded as desired according to the destination of use. Once they have been selected, they need to be reduced and made uniform in thickness. This is done by a shaving method, normally a machine with a rapidly revolving bladed cylinder. The leathers are then retanned and dyed through, literally a further tanning treatment to modify leather's properties. The leathers that exit here are now uniformly dyed. The natural beauty of leather is made even more striking by the wide variety of shades which the modern tanner is capable of producing. The last of the wet operations is the fat liquoring, to grant leather permanent softness, elasticity and flexing resistance. Now we come to the drying operations. The first step is setting out, working over the grain surface to remove excess water and eliminate wrinkles. Leather drying can be continued by various methods. One of these is vacuum drying, where leathers are put on a large, hot, flat plate, and another plate presses down and sucks the water out of the leather by creating a vacuum. This is a very effective method. Or there is toggling. Leathers are fixed on frames with toggles or clamps. The leathers then go through a dryer. This stretching can be done manually. Here is a machine that does it automatically. Another method is suspension drying. The hides are suspended from the ground on a wire or chain so that air has free access to both sides and move high up around the tannery complex. In this way, the leathers dry at room temperature. Leather is staked to make it open and softer. Pins pound the leather from both above and below hundreds of times as it passes through the machine, stretching and flexing the leather in every direction. This softens the leather remarkably. Some skins have natural healed scratches or parasitic damage in the grain of the leather. A very special, flexible paste, stucco, can fill in such gaps. A light buffing or sanding leaves a clean, smooth surface ready for the subsequent finishing operation. The finishing department is the area where an alert and creative mind adds the final touches to enhance the natural beauty of leather. One method of applying the finish is the rotary spray. Several spray guns are mounted on a unit which continuously revolves over the leather. Unique patterns and two-tone effects can be obtained. Once the leather is dry, an artificial grain pattern is often created by embossing the leather using etched or engraved rolls. Grain pattern and softness can be further enhanced by dry milling the leather. Before being delivered to the customer, the leather is measured by a very precise machine. Die-cast is a completely different system of finishing or enhancing leather, usually with split or heavily buffed leather, maintaining the same thickness and softness. The technique consists of creating the finishing film on a continual support of release paper. An adhesive is applied to the film, then the film is pressed on the leather. The finished leather is then removed from the release paper, displaying a perfectly uniform surface. In viewing these principal processes, you can appreciate the passion, dedication, technology, and creativity that goes into working and finishing leather.
Leathertex Tanneries is a part of Leathertex Group and is one of the leading manufacturers and exporters of finished leather. The company's prime objective is to produce high-quality leathers for shoes, handbags and other small leather goods. We are one of the major tanneries in Pakistan with complete production setup of leather making, starting right from raw till finishing. Leathertex has been awarded Best Export Trophy 1996 to 1997, 1997 to 1998, 1999 to 2000, and again for the year 2007 to 2008. A healthy work environment at Leathertex keeps its workers healthy and provides opportunities to meet with their work and personal goals. We firmly believe that only a healthy environment can produce quality products. With huge stocks of graded raw skins, we guarantee our customers right quality, good volume, consistent prices and quicker deliveries. No matter which size, selection and substance is required, Leathertex has got a complete range of raw skins in stock available, which can support our production for at least 6 months. These stocks are ready in wet blue and pickle form for immediate production as per the ordered specifications. At wet blue and pickle selection stage, each and every skin goes through multiple selection processes to be segregated and stacked into different categories for prompt issuance for production. While issuing the skins for further processing, each and every skin is again selected manually to ensure all the skins have the right substance, style and quality according to the specifications ordered by the customers. These skins are again measured through an electronic measuring machine to further ensure that not a single piece which doesn't comply the specifications laid by the customer is issued. Our dyeing section, which plays the role of the backbone in our tannery, operates under the vigilant supervision of the qualified technicians 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. We produce a very wide range of fashion colours, including very light colours, as we are mainly working for ladies' shoes and bag industry. Uniform and thorough dyeing with unique handmade textures and even natural milling is a signature and speciality of Leathertex. Our customers strongly believe in our ability to produce these unique handmade textures and therefore eagerly await our new collection every season. Our sample lab is fully equipped with experimental drums and world-class machinery, where our research and development department continuously keeps on researching and adding optimal value to the raw skins by developing new articles with diversified tannages and trendy colours. Our leather is renowned for its versatility of tannage, grain patterns and finishes, which fully caters to the needs of our customers. Leathertex is currently doing a variety of tannages like chrome tannage, semi-vegetable tannage and chrome-free tannage, and diversified grain patterns like milled grain, flat grain, semi-milled, natural shrunken and handmade textures. Making leather is a passion for Leathertex. Extreme care, professional treatment, accurate and precise mechanical processes carried out under the continuous supervision of qualified technicians and state-of-the-art machines from the most famous brands, ensuring quality, uniformity, consistency and durability of our leather articles. Our planned and systematic machine processes helps us ensure the suitability of our products to meet our customers' market needs. At Leathertex, we strongly believe that only a healthy worker can produce a quality product which can reach the high expectation level of our customers. Therefore, at Leathertex, we make sure that all our workers follow the health and safety regulations set by the company. We have designed, planned and supervised our factory to be a safe and healthy workplace for our workers, so the buffing process is carried out in the backside area of the tannery and is equipped with a fully automatic dedusting and dust collection system to keep the place dust-free and healthy. Right selection, correct substance, accurate size of skins and proper tannage is crucial to make a right article. A thorough piece-to-piece inspection is carried out by experienced and skillful staff before issuing the crust for finishing. During crust selection, it is ensured that not a single piece of subgraded quality, size and substance is sent for the finishing. Finishing is the foremost and crucial stage in leather making. Leathertex finishing section is fully equipped with state-of-the-art, most sophisticated finishing machines made by famous Italian brands. We produce many types of finishing, including aniline, semi-anilines, natural waxy, patent, glazed, brush-off, foiled, pull-up and hand-finished with a lot of colours, metallics as well as non-metallics. This unique blend of qualified skillful technicians and state-of-the-art finishing machines is developing and producing a wide range of splendid and excellent articles every year that are awaited by many of the famous brands in the world of fashion for completing their product range. Induction of new machines and techniques is given its due importance in Leathertex, and this plays a very important role in our research and development, which subsequently keeps us and our customers at the forefront in the fashion and design. Leathertex always keeps its customers well informed and updated on the upcoming trends and colour forecast. We develop our catalogue and designer guides twice a year, which makes the job of our customers much simple and easier. Leathertex has always maintained state-of-the-art laboratories and sample department, as a majority of our production is fashion-oriented, for which research and development, skilled technicians and good chemicals are the key ingredients. Leathertex has got a very skillful and highly efficient sampling department, which is capable of producing samples according to the market trends and customers' requirements in the shortest possible time. Customer satisfaction and comfort is the focal point, where the whole production strategy and quality policy moves, and is evident in the whole production process seen before. The quality system is well spread and being monitored at all stages. At the final inspection, each and every single piece of the lot is again carefully checked and compared with the standards with due care and personalized effort. It is ensured that not a single piece of leather which is not up to the customer's required quality, size, substance and finishing may go out. The leathers that have been passed by the final quality inspectors for shipping out are measured either square feet or square meters as required by the customers, and then packed in cartons of right size and wrapped in fabric to make sure that goods arrive to the customer in good condition. On time, consistent and timely deliveries are the unique selling points of Leathertex, and repeat orders from our valuable customers are proof of their confidence in us. Containers are completely checked before stuffing, so that the goods reach at the destination safely. We are producing a wide range of articles on domestic goat, mainly for ladies' shoe and bag industry. Due to the efforts of our active and energetic research department, Leathertex presents a wide range of new collection twice a year, which is eagerly awaited by many of the prestigious brands. Leathertex is an active participant in all of the major exhibitions around the globe, where these new collections are presented to its customers. To fulfill the commitment of producing quality leather, Leathertex Tanneries has its own in-house testing facility, which caters to most of the required tests using top-of-the-line testing equipment from Satra. The tests can be carried out according to many of the international standards as per customers' demand. This in-house testing helps us save a lot of time and in maintaining our strict quality measures. We always keep our customers updated by providing certificates of compliance as soon as any new regulation comes into force. Leathertex relies on the most well-known European suppliers for its complete requirement of chemicals. This ensures on-time delivery with the required quality. We do not use substandard, non-branded chemicals. Therefore, our products fully comply all European standards for non-hazardous chemicals. In the third world, most of the countries at the moment are suffering from power shortage, and the factories are closed for hours. Fortunately, Leathertex has its own power backup system. This system ensures the uninterrupted power supply to machines to ensure on-time deliveries. Senior management at their level have always demonstrated their extraordinary management, planning, controlling, organizing and marketing capabilities to accelerate the company's development over the period of 25 years. Discipline is cultivated in the workers to create a feeling of self-worth and to help them to become independent and responsible citizens. The social responsibility is a fundamental element in the business ethics. Leathertex Group fully understands its responsibility. Therefore, a school of primary education was launched initially in 1997 in the family's own house in the village area of Daiwal. The school was run using exclusively the family's own financial resources and some help from a few friends. In the year 2006, the school was upgraded to middle level and then upgraded to a secondary school in the year 2008. The school faculty has focused on effective learning for the children and preparing strong-headed, socially responding and proactive individuals. The outcome is encouraging. Most of the teachers now serving in the school were previously students of the school. Their motivation and dedication in their jobs is proving extremely effective. The school has cast an extraordinary impact on the mindset of the people of the village and adjacent area. The turn of mind and the liking of the education being seen nowadays in the people of the village are remarkable.
Welcome to Herman Oak Leather. We have been tanning leather for 125 years through 4 generations. This video is designed to help explain how leather is made. Our leather is still made the old-fashioned way, with tannings that come from tree bark. This is called vegetable tanning, which has certain properties still valued by many people around the world for its beauty and workability. We hope you will find this interesting, and everyone in our company welcomes you to join us on our tour.
The tanning process you will see here is one of the oldest tannages, called vegetable tanning, as it uses the tannins from organic matter like tree bark, leaves, and nuts. While this tannage used to be the predominant tannage around the world, it is now a specialty tannage. Shoes, clothing, and upholstery have switched over the past 100 years to chrome tanning, which uses the metal chromium, takes a much shorter time, and is less costly to make. The vegetable tannages you will see here, however, still retain their ability to mold, carve, provide firmness, and are compatible with skin, which are fundamental to their use in the markets for the horse, pet, orthopedic, and craft industries. A century ago, this vegetable tannage used to take up to a year for each hide. Nowadays, it still takes between 1 and 3 months. Raw hides, if left wet, will rot. If raw hides are dried, they will not rot, yet are no longer flexible and have limited use. Tanning is simply a method of combining another substance, called tannin, with the hide fiber to allow the resultant leather to be dried, yet remain flexible. The chemical process of getting there, however, is very involved. Hides are removed from the cattle at the packing plant, washed, fleshed to remove fat, trimmed, then the water removed in a donut-shaped raceway, using a saturated salt brine solution. They are then sorted for gender, weight, and brands. Our industry uses the heavier weighted portion of the native or non-branded male steer sides, or about 1% of the available cattle hides of the U.S. The U.S. produces about 30 million hides a year from a cattle population of around 100 million. You may notice on this cured hide some of the natural wrinkles and draw which comes from the growth and the breed of the animal. Tanners attempt to minimize the appearance of these, yet they can never be fully corrected. The first operation the tanner performs is to soak the hide back to its original water content by removing the salt. The hair is then removed with lime and sulfide, forming a lye-type solution to break down the hair. The lime has the additional benefit of plumping the fibers by raising the pH, opening the fibers so they accept the later tannins. This is the first major chemical process which needs stringent quality controls for pH, temperature, and alkalinity. The limed hides are fleshed to remove excess fatty tissue. Certain leathers are now split on a band knife splitter to make them level. This splitting process may be repeated later in the tanning process as well as in the finished dry state. Some tanners also use shaving machines to make the leather level. The lime is now removed from the hides, gradually lowering the pH back to neutral. The hides are then baited or cleaned using an enzyme which was first developed for the tanning industry and later used in clothing detergent. When the hides come out of these paddles, they can be dried to make rawhide dog bones or rawhide stamping pallets. This is the second major chemical process, which is closely controlled for pH and temperature. The chemistry in tanning is like building a house, where the foundation is most important and every level is dependent on the previous one to ensure the highest quality. The hides are now placed into the tanning solution, which is similar to coffee. Here the tannin molecules gradually penetrate the hide fibers. It is here that the carving and molding characteristics of the leather are set. This is the major chemical process in tanning, taking up to 6 weeks for vegetable tanning. The process must be tightly controlled on a daily basis for acidity, pH, tannin strength, and purity. Chrome tanning does not use this step, but is done instead in a large drum like you will see later, and takes less than a day. This is how the vegetable tanning extract comes to the tannery. It is made from tree bark that is soaked in hot water to extract the tannins, then spray dried just like coffee. The final chemical process is done in large rotating drums or mills. Here the leather is washed, bleached, dyed if required, and fat liquored with special oils to penetrate and bind to the fibers. These are the types of drums that are used for chrome tanning, as mentioned earlier. The wet leather is now wrung on a machine with a felt-covered roller, very much like Grandma used to use for her clothing. The damp leather is now smoothed out on a setting machine, a process similar to boning, or ironing without heat. This also takes out any stretch from the leather. The leather is now dried on frames in temperature and humidity controlled rooms over 3 days. The leather is now dry and sent to the finishing department where Herman Oak trims the leather to remove unusable edges. Finished leather will go through a large press numerous times to lay it flat and smooth the grain even more. In the old days, tanners used to sell tannery run, which meant a mix of whatever hides come from the packer. Nowadays, the leather is sorted into stacks of different grades and thicknesses and sold as specific grades. At Herman Oak, leather is sold either by individual grade or by tannery run, which means 25% A, 50% B, and 25% C grades, with no D, X, or brands. We keep an inventory of all base leathers to make sure we can always ship every customer. Once an order is placed, the leather is selected specifically for that customer, based on type of leather, thickness, and mix of grades. Leathers that require exact thickness will be run through a dry splitting machine. This splitting machine is the most highly calibrated machine in a tannery, similar to that of a stitch-and-all sewing machine. Comparing two leathers of similar thickness, the dry split leather will be weaker than the non-split leather because the fiber bundles have been disturbed. The grain layer is for looks, the fiber layer is for strength. When the leather is ready for shipment, it will go through the third and final grading station, and is checked for overall quality and whether it meets the customer's specifications. The leather is then measured and stamped with the square footage. The measuring machine must be calibrated numerous times throughout the day with the round black disc to ensure accuracy. Finally, the leather is rolled or palletized, loaded on trucks, and sent on its way. Grading of the leather is based on the intended use of the leather, and is usually standardized by type of leather. In general, the prime or butt area is the most important part of the side and is graded the most heavily, followed by the shoulder and then the belly. For skirting leather, the prime butt area, where the saddle seat is cut, is the most important. For tooling and holster leather, the prime butt area is still most important, yet the shoulder is also important for cutting parts. For harness and rein leather, the center section for cutting traces and reins is graded equally throughout the side. Call 1-800-WEAVER-1 to request a free copy of our latest supply catalog today.
belongs to me.